Oh, this should be fun.
Hello, everybody,
Um,
and welcome back to one more video for 75 days of Kingdom Hearts. My name is KewlImp Justin, and a whole other host of names I'm not allowed to say. With me today, I have, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Sterbecomeone One,
that's right, bro. You already know.
and we're going to be talking about the 13 Seekers of Darkness. Um, it might be a little debate-ish, but I'm going with theory. And again, if you'd like to know where the beginning of this theory begins, it's the City of Darklings video under World Almost Guaranteed to Be in the Game, which I'll have linked in the below. And it's also on the My Kingdom Hearts playlist. That essentially
Sounds good.
that essentially states that the city where the Union Cross members, the Dandelions, were being stored at, because I can't think of another phrase for it. Eventually, they all fell to darkness for one reason or another, and you have an entire city of Darklings. Wow, I can't speak. And those Darklings now overrun the city with very few survivors. At some point, Xehanort travels through to this planet, either this world rather, because he knows it's there, or because he is exploring so No Name can see the universe as it was. This is where he finds Marluxia, Larxene, Ventus for sure, and where he may have found other people like I'm maintaining this that Zigbar is Breg, but or Zigbar is Blaine, but that one is up in the air. I like the theory, but it's probably not true. So I think that um, the union leaders and the top 5 performers are going to be recruited into the organization, the Seekers of Darkness, by the end. If Ventus is saved and he does return to the side of light, I'm not sure if he's going to fight. What do you think about that?
Now, a lot of people in the Kingdom Hearts community has stated that, Ventus comes from, of course, he is from Birth by Sleep if he is a Seeker of Darkness. Now, you said you think he's not a Seeker of Darkness, or he is. You say,
I'm saying it's possible that he still is,
yeah, in
but
my opinion, he,
that
he probably is, but like, like his story right now with Sora waking him up from the dark, waking him up from his long resting, it wouldn't make sense. He wakes up after 10 years, he just be put in the Secret of Darkness. Like he had a different story, totally different from that right now.
I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely. More than likely, he's going to be neutral, if anything. But the other union leaders, Marluxia specifically, we do see in the hoodie that they wear. And as we were talking about before we started recording, that doesn't necessarily make him a Seeker of Darkness, because Marluxia could be serving a different organization that was established during the Union Cross era.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the reason that there's such a big deal that the tizzy that was made back when the which one was it? It wasn't TGS, it was um
Expo
D23.
18, 1923.
Yeah, I think it's a D23 trailer where Marluxia pops out after
Yeah,
Sora calls him a has-been.
yeah. When he was at the Tangle World, that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying.
And he says there's only one organization and I, Marluxia, serve it.
Yeah,
But depending on what people have been saying, and there was debate amongst this about new organization versus the organization. I don't speak Japanese, I don't read it or write it, so I can't tell the difference. It's very well possible that they are still a Seeker of Darkness. I think we're going to see less of the usual suspects and more of original characters coming from the Union Cross era who we may have bumped into.
yeah. Because it would just make sense. There, there's definitely some more besides Marluxia, Larxene, and Ventus. There's definitely some more. So hopefully, Kingdom Hearts 3, we have a small portion of the story that relates to the Unicross side. Or this is asking a better question. Do you think that Daybreak Town will be a world in Kingdom Hearts 3?
I don't think it'll be playable. I think it will be just considered the Keyblade Graveyard.
Hmm.
And this goes back to what I was saying about assumptions in one of my earlier videos. When we see Xehanort pulling up this city seemingly by magic, that might not be magic. He just might be using the power of awakening and awakening the city below the surface.
Ooh, that makes sense, man. That will make perfect sense. So,
But that could just be a dream sequence. We don't know yet. That looks like something you'd put out as an opening trailer. Because even after we get done with the first world, we're going to know who is in the organization cloaks by the time we meet. Whew. By the time
yeah,
we
like,
reach the end of the game,
mm,
there's no reason for those people to still be hooded. It means either they're not who we think we. Wow, this is my poorest recording ever. They're not who we think they are, or
right.
that's just a dream sequence at the beginning of the game, like we've seen at the beginning of other Kingdom Hearts games.
So basically, you're referring to not the last trailer we got, but the other trailer we got from Tank. What was the trailer?
Well, it's been in a few of them. It's
The
where
trailer with the trailer with Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh was one of them, and then you
Yeah,
see everything rising up with the 12 Seekers, and then Xehanort rises up behind them.
exactly.
There's no indication why they would have their hooks, their faces hooded,
Hmm.
unless it's either a twist or a dream sequence.
Yeah, that sounds really good, man.
And that's why I'm thinking that the 13 Secrets of Darkness may not be who we think they are, because there's no point in hiding those faces. We can
And
confirm about 4 of them with
yeah,
a hard stamp confirmed.
yeah,
Xehanort,
and we're yeah.
Apprentice Xehanort,
Mhm.
um, Ansem, and Xemnas.
Yeah,
Those are the
and
only
we're
4
definitely
we can get a hard confirmation on.
yeah, yep, and we're definitely going to get some new Kingdom Hearts characters in Kingdom Hearts 3 that are Secret Dark. It would not make sense in the more to have the same characters. There's probably like one or two characters from Secret Dark that are new in general. So
Mm-hmm. And I everyone's doing this list of 13 that seems to be pretty. We've got this right on. No, we don't. The 13 Seekers of Darkness are probably completely different people. And that's where one of the more interesting things, and the reason I started doing 75 days of Kingdom Hearts is that we are making a lot of assumptions based on what we think we know. Just because Luxford says he's back with the organization doesn't mean he is staying with them, or that there's
exactly,
any intent for him to even live to the finale. Same thing applies to Zigbar. Although I have my own theories on Zigbar, I don't think he is who um, people think he is, which would be just Braig from the Birth by Sleep era. I think he's from the Union Cross era as well.
yeah.
But again, that's just my personal opinion on the matter, whether or not it is the same person.
Yeah, it would just make great sense and everything. And with the Secret of Darkness, like I said, going back, there's probably gonna be two new characters that we don't even know about. That will be Secret of Darkness in Kingdom Hearts 3. And going on top of that, all the characters that we got so far that are in different worlds. Like, for instance, Marluxia, he's in
Tangled.
Corona. Toy Story, we have Young Xehanort, that's in Toy Story. Let's see. Monsters Inc. Benitez is in Monster Inc., right?
Uh huh. Benitez is in
Cool.
Monsters Inc. Monstropolis.
Yeah.
Luxford is in the Caribbean.
Right. Hmm. Right. He's in Caribbean.
Um,
He's in the Caribbean. And let's see. Yeah.
more than likely, we can make a safe assumption that
Yeah.
Dadariku is in San Fran, Tokyo.
Yeah. And Lark Scene is in Arendelle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that those they are going to stay with the organization all the way to the end. And that's one of the biggest things I think is going to happen is specifically Marluxia and Larxene find out who kills Sister, and from there they are probably going to turn against the organization again.
Exactly. That is a possibility that will happen. Just like chain of memories, they might turn the organization. And a lot of people noticed from the trailer where Marluxia was at Kingdom Corona, his eyes weren't yellow like the other members. So that might be a good hint that he's not Secret Darkness, just only because that his eyes don't have a yellow complexion. Do you agree?
No, because they went back and edited. Someone had made a mistake on that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. If you take a look at the, I think it's the North American release for the trailer, he has gold eyes.
Wow.
I forget what magazine it was with, but they did admit that it was a mistake on their part, a miscoloration on the editing staff.
Oh, shame on them.
Well, they're people, so there's bound to be mistakes that happen.
That happened.
But a lot of it, when we take a look into it, is we're basing a lot of this off of the assumptions of what we think we know. And I don't see Namora being just so simple. I
agree.
Luxford, I will agree that there are probably bigger connections between the worlds that we see Marluxia, Larxene, all of them in comparison to their character arcs. But one of the things I don't agree with is that they are definitely Seekers of Darkness. Just because you wear a cloak that's black and metal tassels does not mean you're automatically a Seeker of Darkness. That's just something to protect you from the realm of darkness, which we see multiple characters wear.
Yeah, and Larxene, don't forget, Larxene is not worried about the Sea of Darkness. Just from the Frozen trailer, she's worried about finding the 7 Princes of the Heart. So maybe Larxene and Marluxia are trying to find the 7 pure hearts for some other reason besides them wanting to be Sea of Darkness.
It may just be a coincidence that the plans happen to overlap, and it's the reason I don't think Marluxia and Larxene specifically are going to remain with the organization at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It's because there probably is some more going on than what we see.
Exactly, and there's 13 Seekers of Darkness in Kingdom Hearts 3. You know, in Kingdom Hearts 2, we had 7 members at the start of the game, the 13. So I guarantee you, at the end of the game, there'll probably still be a few Seekers of Darkness still walking around from the Kingdom Hearts series as it goes on. We're not going to defeat all 13 of them. I don't think so.
I think once we get towards... I don't think we're going to see them all in the trailers. But again, that's because you don't want to spoil the big surprise that there might be a party that's not being seen. So
but I'm saying, like,
let's say
13.
Let's say Skull, he's able to convince Skull to become a Seeker of Darkness. They don't want to blow that surprise.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you is basically, we're not going to defeat all 13 Seekers of Darkness in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, that's going to be too many boss battles. So I'm pretty sure after the game, there's probably going to be like 3 or 4 Seekers of Darkness still within the series that haven't defeated after Kingdom Hearts 3. Not all of them will be defeated. Because in Kingdom Hearts 2, we only had 7 members that were still in the game.
Yeah, it's part of the base game. I'll agree to that. But that's because some of them were killed off in other games.
Yeah, exactly, but we're not going to defeat all 13 of them in Kingdom Hearts 3. No. Wouldn't make sense.
We might.
Yeah.
I don't think we might have a boss battle with them. But I think they will be shown. I think they will come into conflict with the Seekers, the Guardians of Light. But that's because you can have Kyrie and Axel fight Dimix and Vexen, for example.
Yeah.
You may not be a part of that fight, but when we go to that like 2000, the Battle of the 2000 or whatever it's being called these days.
Yeah.
We might be able to see that, yes, they are there and they do fight with other Seekers of Darkness. But there you go, the catch. We're not actually fighting that fight.
Yeah, and I noticed that Vexen and Demnix at the trailer with the Winnie Pooh reveal, they were talking, and Demnix would just talk about they're not friends. So what does he mean by that? Does he mean that maybe they're arguing or like, well, is Demnix thinking about leading the organization? Because they had an argument during the Winnie Pooh trailer.
I think Vexen was asking a favor that would contradict orders.
Hmm.
So instead of saying, I'm not going to follow your request because then I'm going to get Xehanort pissed off at me, he's saying, we're not friends. Why should I do something for you? Or why should I do something for you? We're not friends.
Yeah.
I can count the number of times we've hung out on one hand.
Man, how many times have you watched that trailer?
Too many.
Good.
I go through and I watch and it's how I stumble across your channel like Byrox's channel and all the other folks is I will type in Kingdom Hearts search the last hour, and even if I'm at work I'll add to my watch later list, and then I will watch the videos. So I've seen all of the trailers about 50-60 times a piece.
Wow, that sounds really good, man. Yeah.
But there's back to the big point. I just don't see it as being as simple as some of the people want to make it out to be, and that's just that they are Seekers of Darkness because they're basically wearing the cloak. We see them in conflict with Sora. Just because they're in conflict with Sora doesn't mean that they don't have their own plans.
Maybe Marluxia and Larxene aren't with the Seeker of Darkness. Maybe they're doing the same thing that they were doing in Chain of Memories, and that is trying to manipulate Sora's heart, trying to manipulate Sora's mind to get him into a puppet. Maybe they're just reuniting with each other, trying to work with each other again to try to make Sora his own puppet. Maybe that's their focus.
And that's the possibility. With
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is one of my biggest arguments, and I still got to make a video about it. I've been putting it off because I know it's going to get a lot of hate. So, Xion, which is everybody's favorite, my little whatever.
Yeah.
Xion cannot exist any longer.
Hmm.
And it's not her as a puppet, it's her as an individual being. Unless the memories of her are completely restored, she is just going to be another puppet.
Yeah. I did a video on Xeon not that long ago, and I told my members that, if the fan service is there, because, Nomura knows that everyone in the Kingdom Hearts community adores Xeon. She's so loved with the Kingdom Hearts community. If the fan service is there, then she will definitely come back. Just like how Maleficent came back in Kingdom Hearts 2. The fan service, everybody loved Maleficent. They wanted her back as, a villain role again. When she defeated Kingdom Hearts 1, they want her back in Kingdom Hearts 2 to be a villain again. I just don't see Xeon coming back in Kingdom Hearts 3 because she's so loved. So I'm pretty sure Nomura is going to work some kind of Kingdom Hearts strategy to bring her back. I don't see that happening, only because of fan service.
I see Naminé coming back into the picture again as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because the way that it's all been phrased between the two characters, specifically Xion and Naminé having a, lack of better phrasing here, an intimate relationship between each other. There's a lot of there's gonna be a lot of theory crafting done around those two and whether or not one can be a Seeker of Darkness while one is a Guardian of Light, which I don't think Naminé is going to be. But Xion is one of those characters that, when we take a look into it, she served her purpose in days. Her purpose was to remind Roxas that she had something she had to do. Or he had something he had to do, which is return back to Sora to become a whole being again.
But I'm telling you, there is a lot of things Nomura can do to bring her back. One is time traveling.
Stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. From the Seekers of Darkness, you know how the Seekers of Darkness, many of them were able to come back from time traveling. Who knows? Maybe they could time travel to bring Xeon back. That's a good possibility. Another possibility is even if she is a Seeker of Darkness, because from the Tokyo Game Show trailer, a lot of people thought that coded figure was Xeon, but it turned out to be Dana Riku. Because a lot of fans were upset about that because they wanted her to be a Seeker of Darkness because that would have worked good. Personally, her Sea of Darkness would have been perfect because if that would have happened, all they had to do as Kingdom Hearts fans and the Kingdom Hearts community is just restore the light within her heart and bring her back. But since she was not Sea of Darkness, it turned to be Riku. The only thing that can really happen as far as bringing her back Kingdom Hearts 3 is either time traveling or Sora just using power within his light.
Yeah, and that's a big possibility. Is when we're taking a look at the Seekers of Darkness compared to the Guardians of Light, we may actually see that there are a lot of situations going on that just at this moment we don't understand. If that I forget what his actual position was. He wasn't a storyboard director. He wasn't a voice actor. He wasn't a voice actor director. But a few months ago, someone said, "Oh yeah, there's like 40 to 50 hours of gameplay if you stay only on the critical path."
Exactly.
And he's not a part of that team. But let's assume he's correct. The total amount of videos that they've released as trailers is about 47 minutes.
Really?
And that's including the 10 minutes that the director, I forget their names, they're two guys from Disney and Pixar, where they're sitting there talking about how Tangled and Big Hero 6 is coming to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we're looking at about only 32 minutes. Of that, about more than half of it is gameplay. Exactly. So we're looking at 15 minutes of a 40-hour game, and you're telling me that we have even a fraction of the idea of what's going on? I just don't believe it. And a lot of it's coming from those assumptions that we know because we've seen these characters before. We know exactly what their intentions are.
Exactly, I also think that, within all these trailers that we've been spoiled. Like, the fans have been spoiled for all these trailers. There's a lot of stuff from these trailers that we didn't really need to see. Even with Aqua, showing that Aqua reveal, I feel that was just a major spoiler because as a Kingdom Hearts gamer, like, I feel that if I was in my room and I was playing the story, and I came across Riku King Mickey, I saw Aqua like that, I would have been terrified. Just seeing that in the trailer wall back, that was a big spoiler.
I don't think so.
Really?
No. This would be something I have covered before, and the reason why it's not that big of a spoiler is it has to do with subjective time. So while she's in the realm of darkness, she does not see time as everyone else sees it. It could literally be decades to her when it's minutes to us. So we have no idea how long she feels like she was in the realm of darkness. So the problem is, where is the actual time frame? And you put someone in a dark, cold room for 3 hours, they'll feel like they've been there for days.
Yeah, but she hasn't aged at all. She looks exactly the same as she did in Birth by Sleep. So she hasn't been there for like 10 years. If
she's been there for at least 11.
But she looks exactly the same. She hasn't aged at all.
But the reason I mentioned that is because with that, she has just been beaten down over and over again. Even at the beginning of Birth by Sleep 0.2, God, that's a horrible name. Fragmentary Passage. You see that she's already half lost to the darkness at the beginning of the game. The only thing that saves her is the Keyblades coming out, striking away some of the Heartless, and then until Mickey shows up, she's bemoaning everything. It was a matter of time.
Yeah.
And that's how...
Yeah.
There's two theories that are going around with Aqua specifically, is that A, she's growing into a Darkling, given the way her costume looks now. And B, she looks like Nomura. I forget if Famatsu said it because they didn't actually quote him on it, but they were under the impression that he had confirmed that she was a Xehanort vessel. But that doesn't matter because we can see just over time, she does not handle that burden well. She may be a master, but she isn't holding on to that dignity very well at all. because she's constantly showing cracks in her armor. And then when she goes, well, I'm going to stand against the tide, or whatever the phrasing was, I promise, which was a really awkward translation. How long does that last before she's right back where she was, broken down, going, what am I going to do? And that's that's where it all comes down to. So when Nomura said, I'm surprised that people were surprised by that.
Yeah, like, he was surprised, bro. He was surprised, bro. And to me, I think he wasn't surprised that people were surprised what actually happened to her. I think he was more surprised at saying, like, what do you think was going to happen to her? Like, Riku came in, just find her and save her. I think he was surprised that everyone was surprised that there was going to be a plot in order to save her. And that's what he was trying to say. At first, I was laughing at what he said, but then again, I understand what he was saying. Basically, what he was trying to say was, you guys were surprised, being there had to be a plot in order to save her. We were just going to make you guys save her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll find out later. Based off of what we can see within the game, more than likely we are going to save her. But they may not be there for the final battle. It's the same thing for Ventus. Even if we save him, he may not be able to be a Seeker of Darkness or a Guardian of Light.
Oh, he might be.
And not only that, there's nothing that states a Guardian of Light has to be a Keyblade wielder.
So, with you just saying, is there anyone else that's not a Keyblade wielder they might be a Guardian of Light? The only people I can think of is Donald and Goofy, of course.
Yep. And it's something that people want to conveniently forget. There's nothing in that prophecy that states, or at least that's been revealed to us. Let me put the caveat on that. That has been revealed to us that all of the members have to be Keyblade wielders.
Exactly. So you're saying that Donald and Goofy can pretty much be part of 7?
Could be a part of the 7.
Anybody else that's not a Keyblade wielder to be part of 7?
Merlin is a potential, but I don't think that that's going to happen.
I don't see it happening.
Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore.
Oh, are you serious?
No.
No.
But the biggest thing is I've been thinking about is there's nothing that states, I can't think of anyone else, but you have a full cast of Final Fantasy characters that you could possibly use for this in order to say, okay, well, we have more than just Keyblade wielders who can do this.
Yeah.
And see, that's one of the...
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that got me thinking about the Marluxia Larxene thing is, and getting back to Ventus as well, is, are they masters? Can they do Keyblade transformations? I don't think Ventus can, but I think Marluxia and Larxene can. I think Braig can. Or, sorry, Xigbar can.
Exactly. And you say it many times, but as going back towards the Guardian of Light, I hope in the more use some creativity. Maybe it could be Sora, Donald, and Goofy, King Mickey, Riku, Kairi, and Lee. That could be smart. And matter of fact, a lot of fans thought that Yen Sid might be a Guardian of Light. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't think Yen Sid will be. I think he's going to stay in retirement.
Stay in retirement, yeah. Makes sense.
I think that even having Mickey as a Guardian of Light has only been base, and I'm going to say basically here, with the big old caveat on it, has more or less been confirmed as being a Guardian of Light. And a lot of people thought that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they thought it would show Mickey in too violent of a light for Disney to accept. I've seen a lot of theory videos, my man. A lot of videos.
Yeah. I really hope so too, man. I really hope so too.
I think the Guardians of Light and the Seekers of Darkness is probably not something that we're going to have a good beat on until we actually play the game. I think the Guardians of Light, I think, are pretty solid. So when people say that it's going to be Mickey, Sora, Lee, Kairi, Axel, Riku, is that right? Mickey,
Yeah, Mickey's definitely
Sora,
be a guardian light.
Kairi, Axel, um, Riku. Yeah, we're
Kyrie.
missing two.
Yeah. Um, Roxas. A lot of people think that Roxas might be a guardian light. How you see that happening? You think that Roxas can be able to do it? Because
I
Thor is trying all he can to bring him back.
I have no idea about Roxas. My gut instinct tells me that people are going to be disappointed no matter what happens with Roxas.
Hmm.
Some people are going to want him to come back as a guardian of light. Some people will only see it as he needing to be a seeker of darkness. But it's one of
Hmm.
those things that I don't think is going to be easily answerable until we play the game. Even though Nomura has said that Roxas is a secret,
Yeah, top
I'm
secret.
I'm under the impression that it may not be as influential as people want it to be.
Yeah, and Thor's trying all he can to bring him back. And we saw someone in the trailer that had the same hair as Roxas,
No,
and
that was
he was
Roxas. There's only
standing.
one other character we've seen wield Oblivion and Oathkeeper,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
has been Roxas.
No, that is Roxas. So he was standing in the back of himself with his blonde hair and Oblivion Keyblade at a certain type of place.
No,
So
Oblivion and Oathkeeper. It
in
the
the Roxas
scene
trailer?
Yeah, the scene flashes
Oh.
by too quickly if you're not paying attention. But I do frame by frame when I go through my videos and I do my analysis videos, like my in-depth analysis. I do frame
Hmm.
by frame progression. And
Hmm.
down in his bottom left hand, it's barely visible. There is an image of him with Oathkeeper.
Oh, okay, that's definitely him then. So my question to you is, where do you think he is, and what is he doing?
Well, for that, that's a different topic.
Yeah, we'll
But
move on that.
so real quick, we can actually discuss that. That was on my list for eventual. So with this video coming to a conclusion, my name's KewlImp. This is the part where I say I have a Patreon, I have a Twitter, I have a Twitch, and SterBecome One. Go ahead and advertise your stuff.
Well, my name is Sterbecomeone One. Nice to meet you guys. I'm pretty sure KillWhip will leave my description down below. I do Kingdom Hearts videos and analysis all the time. On my description, I have my Discord, I have my Twitter and Instagram, Sterbecomeone One. Make sure you guys holler at me over there. I do videos daily.
All right. Well, y'all have a great night, and as always, joy be to you all.